G'day guys and welcome to the Iron Empire. This week we dive back into the world of American motors and we have to dig deep to find out what's wrong with the engine of my 69 Javelin. First thing I'll do today is pull the valve covers to see what's going on over there. And once I've got a bit of room there, I might throw a ratchet on the front, see if I can turn this engine over. Oh, she loose. Shit. Fail. This might have something to do with the crash. Might get a measurement off this and maybe not off this one, I'll get a measurement off the other one and see if I can match it up. Replace it before I try and turn this motor over. Let us just have a brief intermission. We shot down Total Tools and Jake just spent up $1,800 and he got the biggest toolkit. It's sick. And a little bit of lawn in the background from my block, thanks to Charlie. Jake's gonna unload this and then continue on with the car. Alright, Jake's wheeling over his fresh toolbox so we can use it for the first time to undo this rocky gear.
The whole toolbox for that?
Yep.
That's how you do it.
I couldn't use his tools for the first time, just to break him in.
For that, eh? Look at that.
Alright, what do we need? 916? It is Christmas. It's better than Christmas. Alright, so I'm going to get this all back together. While the plugs are out, I'll throw some WD-40 down the bores just to help lubricate it. I'm going to try and turn this thing over. Alright, we've got issues. I've replaced the push rod with a new one and the rocker gear is still loose, so it looks like there might be some issues deeper down, so I guess I might just start dismantling and see what I find. Oh no. What? Oh dude. Oh! The piston's condemned! Oh wow. He revved the and hit the wall. Oh, he mangled it. He's done a number. Alright, so hopefully that piston will polish up with a wire wheel and some WD-40 down the balls. Yeah, she's toast. This engine is freaking toast. But at least now I know. I'm gonna pull this head off as well, just to see what the rust situation is like. The rust probably, obviously it's not great, but it's not sort of the worst it could be, but the piston sea cactus, the valve is smashed in the head. The head's damaged, so I'll have to assess that. Repairs might be very high. Don't know. Things to look at, things to assess, but I'm gonna get this other head off and then, yeah, go from there. Okay, so the engine is all cleaned up now. The best we can sort of get it from the top. I would like to try and separate the engine from the trans to get it out. But of course the engine needs to turn to get the torque converter bolts out. And regardless of that, I sort of need the engine to be able to be relatively free to get the pistons out easily and the crank and all that sort of stuff. So I'm at a point now where the best we could do with the cleanup, we try to fix it with fire by adding a bit of heat to the cylinder walls and then trying to sort of jiggle it. But the front of this is literally only got a 3/4 inch bolt on the front of the harmonic balancer, so it wasn't really enough to sort of turn. I needed to go backwards because the crank is jammed into the bottom of the bore. Way down on the bore there, you'll see some bits of piston so jammed up, so I've managed to dislodge one piece, so I just got to keep sort of wiggling back and forth trying to get that last bit of piston out, or as much as I can reach, and hopefully that will free it up enough to get some movement in the cylinders. If that happens, we'll be laughing because I might actually be able to save this thing. Fingers crossed. These are very, very hard to get a hold of. Next morning, guys, and I now have the Javelin on the hoist. I've given up on trying to free the engine on the ground. I just cannot do it, so I'm gonna try and get it out. Gotta pull some of the bits out from underneath. I've got to obviously pull the tail shaft out now, so I'm gonna get that done, get the trans all loosened up and get everything I can from the underside and yank this out. Jake's not here yet, so I might have to attempt this on my own, but I thought I'd show you guys quickly while I've got it up here how solid this car is. I am bloody stoked. It is ridiculously solid. So from what I can tell, this car has been off the road since '89, and although it managed to get some water in the bores, the rest of the car has actually been kept pretty bloody dry because the underside is in really good shape. Floors, sill panels, all really good. Quarters are good. You don't find much like this solid, so a few bumps and bruises which we're obviously got to get out. But anyway, for now, tear this thing down and try my best to get this engine out today. It's pretty much my last day that I have free before I have to start doing some YouTube editing stuff tomorrow because it's Friday come tomorrow. So yeah, fingers crossed we get this out today, get it down in the machine shop and see if this engine can be saved. So fingers crossed, wish me luck. I forgot to block off the trans speedo cable. Oh well, that'll come up. It's out. Now more fun. All right, guys, so that is it so far, is as far as I can come with this engine. I managed to get the converter off, but I couldn't take the crank out because I've left my pulley puller at home. So the crank has to stay in there for now, which means that one of the pistons is stuck in there because it won't come up as it's a bit rusty. So this is now going down to Harman engine reconditioning. Chris and the boys down there have done a couple motors for me before, and they have the ability to crack test and basically go through, make sure the thing is totally safe to go to the next level, then hopefully hone the thing out, bore it out to whatever we need to do to get rid of the rust. And hopefully, fingers crossed, that this block is usable, because this is a rare block. It's the biggest capacity block they have, and it's either a 390 or a 401. I still haven't quite confirmed that, but either way, there is plenty of cubes for this little pony car here. So the heads also will be going down to Chris. He has the ability to do any repairs that need to be done on the port, because one of those heads has got some damage. If worst case scenario, they can't be repaired or the cost is just going to be too high, I could go down the path of alloy heads, but then that opens the can of worms of, just a massive expense. So anyway, I'm going to get this all loaded up, get it down to the boys, see how far we can go. That's going to be it for the Javelin this week. But of course, there'll be plenty of updates coming on that. Plenty of updates coming on plenty of other cars. So if you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment. Don't forget to check out the online store if you haven't already. And I will see you all on an upcoming episode of The Iron Empire. Cheers, guys.